Pearlie was also stuck on the inner temple side that night. The next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. That's when Mr. Godot arrived at the inner temple for the first time. He found Pearlie first, then cheered her right up.
Who is this Pearlie?
That's my little cousin, Pearl Faye.
So when did you hear about this?
Oh, just a while ago, while I was in the medical office.
I'm terribly sorry. What you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony.
What? Come on! Pearlie would never tell a lie. She's a way more honest person than I'll ever be.
Real smart, Maya. You always know the best thing to say when you're under oath.
As in, she says horrible things under oath.
Yeah.
The prosecution has no objection. We believe the witness.
Mr. Godot!
You're under suspicion of murder. Of course you believe the witness. She's defending you.
Let's just move on to the cross-examination, if the defense has no objections.
This is highly unusual, but, well, Mr. Wright?
This is what's highly unusual. Not the spirit of the dead possessing somebody and having a whole murder case about it.
Yes, because I read this occult...
This is what's unusual.
I read this occult magazine. It was pretty interesting. I had a very good time reading it.
I'm taking away all your lobster.
What? Why?
Let's get this cross-examination started.
Okay.
Yes, she was stuck in there.
Yeah, that much we know.
So where did you think Pearl slept that night?
In the spare prep room next to the training hall, I guess. There's a rule that you can't enter the training hall during an actualized training.
But even so, why did she go to the inner temple in the first place?
It seems that Pearls became very worried about Maya.
She knew that the spiritual training I was about to undergo was very intense.
And very likely deadly.
Yeah, unless supervised.
Pearls was supposed to channel Dahlia Hawthorne, but she couldn't do it. That's why she headed to the inner temple. However, Dahlia Hawthorne was already there, possessing the body of Elise Dirksnem.
The next morning
she looked up.
I was going to say it. Never mind me. I've already.
You don't really need to.
Yeah, I've already said it.
Yeah, so I was confused. She searched the entire inner temple side, end to end.
Well, you see, Pearlie gets pretty scared when she's alone. And there weren't that many places to look. She says that she even went back and forth several times.
The inner temple side has two structures, the training hall and a spare prep room.
And there's also a storage shack, I think. That's about it.
There was a storage shack too? Pearls was looking for other people, right? Would she have really examined a storage shack all that carefully?
Well, if it was me, that would be the first place I would investigate.
But she's not you.
So that means it's possible that someone may have been hiding in the storage shack.
Next day, when the bridge was fixed, she was in the spare prep room. Pearls didn't hear the sound of them working on the bridge.
What do you mean?
I was just wondering why she would stay in the prep room. If it was me, I'd at least go out and wait at the foot of the bridge.
Oh, well, Pearlie said she was sleeping at the time. She said she was so scared during the night that she couldn't sleep well and woke up a bunch of times.
Poor little girl, all alone like that.
Who takes care of her and where does she sleep now?
Yeah, that's a...
Like in just her day-to-day life.
Don't worry, I have a grandson who knows how to take care of people like that.
I imagine that Josh has something to do with it, I don't know.
I doubt it. This is Pearl.
Well, we know that she had at least one friend in the Sacred Cavern. Dahlia Hawthorne, who was busy battling with the trick lock.
She couldn't let anyone see her, so she wouldn't have shown herself to Pearls.
What happened after the bridge was finally fixed?
Godot arrived at the inner temple. For the first time. So it was your first time on the inner temple side, Mr. Godot.
That's funny. Am I imagining things that the defense asked me a question?
Mr. Wright, please save your questions for the witness.
What you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. Those are your words. Your Honor.
Touché, Mr. Wright. Touché. Oh well. What do you have to say, Mr. Godot?
Too much coffee.
Hot nights and even hotter coffee. That's what I always say. If it hadn't been for this case, I never would have visited there. A freezing cold temple in the mountains. I think I'll pass.
So we had never visited Hazakura Temple or the Inner Temple, huh?
You want to say something, right?
In any case, I have to find a crack in Godot's armor. While I cross-examine Maya, that is.
Very well, please go on with your testimony. After fixing the bridge, the policeman came over to the inner temple site, correct?
Yes, then Mr. Godot. Pearlie
Found Pearlie first and cheered her right up. He cheered her up?
That's what Pearlie said. She said he was a very nice older gentleman. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. Godot.
And here I was thinking you were nothing more than a coffee addict.
Cut it out. You're making me blush.
Not that you could see the blush. This guy's really beginning to get on my nerves. In more ways than one.
The truth is there aren't that many places to look on the inner temple side. The policemen were all busy going over the garden with the fine-tooth combs.
So I decided to carry out an investigation in my own way. Godot style. I'm the same way. I like to hand down verdicts in my own way. Judge style.
Maybe I should ask some questions. Phoenix style. Godot's investigation or cheering Pearls up?
I am curious how he teared her up, actually.
Alright. So you cheered Pearls up. Well, we might have to go back if this doesn't do anything.
Yeah. When I found that little girl, the first thing she asked about was her cousin, Maya Fey.
Really?
The bridge had burned down and she was huddled up in that tiny shack with no heat. Even though she must have had a truly terrifying night out there. She asked about you before she asked a thing about herself. I said a thing about herself.
Pearly?
I noticed that you weren't anywhere on the inner temple side. But I couldn't find any meat to tell her that. So I gave her my last cup.
You did not give her coffee.
With milk and sugar. To hide the bitterness of the harsh truth.
Don't give a kid coffee!
A caffeine rush. What a sweet story. What a sweet story.
He had a thermos of coffee? Why doesn't that surprise me? There's only one thing of any importance here. Where was Godot when the murder was taking place? He must have already been at the inner temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed Elise Dirksnam.
And so you'll probably have to go back to that. Godot's investigation.
You said that you conducted an investigation of your own. Did you find anything?
Looks like my investigation went about as well as yours tried. After all, I didn't miss the bloody writing on the lantern.
Well, I didn't miss it, so speak for yourself, Goggles.
The only odd thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall.
Beauty?
Misty Fey, naturally. Why did you say training hall?
He couldn't have seen that.
Yeah. Planning a stunning Japanese garb surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes.
Western tastes? Could he find a stranger way to describe gravy?
So from where you headed for the prep room, from there you headed for the prep room.
Wait a second. What did Godot just say? I think I just found his proverbial weak spot. There's only one thing of any importance here. Where was Godot when the murder was taking place? Must have already blah blah blah.
Yeah, so
okay.
We already found
we
his
know
issue.
he was there another time then.
Yeah.
So he did not appear for the first time
Because of that.
because this, yeah, when he arrived, this was covered in gravy already.
Yep.
Mr. Godot, the first time you crossed Dusky Bridge and went to the Inner Temple was long before the murder took place.
Why do you say that?
Because he just made one fatal slip-up. The hanging scroll in the training hall.
Hang scroll.
But Mr. Godot was right. That scroll shows a picture of my mother.
Maya, I know you know who it is, but here's something you don't know. By the time the bridge had been repaired, 2 days after the murder, the hanging scroll in the training hall looked like this.
What's that wonderfully delicious smell?
How can you smell it? Do we literally have the scroll with us?
I do like me some gravy.
The morning after the crime, someone, whose name starts with P, covered it with some gravy.
Gravy? But why gravy, Nick?
Because she doesn't know what gravely means.
Yep.
Because gravy was much more than a condiment to the culprit. Well, Mr. Godot, if you really hadn't seen the hanging scroll until after the murder, you wouldn't have had any way of knowing that it was Misty Fey. Just admit it.
Wait a minute, Nick.
Stop it. Yes?
Take another look at the hanging scroll. Look at the top. There's a crest there.
Ah, that. It's the mark of the master, correct?
Exactly. So if you know the meaning of the mark...
Then you could guess there was a picture of Misty Fey on there.
No. True, kinda. But Mr. Godot described what was underneath like this. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes.
Oh.
Yes, it's possible that he knew what the crest meant. However, he couldn't have known that she was wearing Japanese clothing. Mr. Godot, on the day of the murder, you were hiding at the Inner Temple long before the crime took place.
Why,
Indeed.
Can I ask you just one little thing, Wright?
What is it?
This whole theory of yours, it all rests on a certain assumption. That I knew beforehand that a crime was going to be committed. Oh, I get it. Godot was working with Misty.
Probably. Because remember, somebody did read the letter before Pearl got it.
Yeah, so I think Godot was working with Misty Fey, trying to prevent what was going to happen.
Clearly worked out wonderfully.
That's right. Otherwise, there's no reason for him to sneak onto the crime scene.
Of course Mr. Godot knew about the plan.
Huh?
What did you say? Is it really possible that another person knew the plan? He read the letter.
Am I just showing it? Yeah.
He read the letter.
Opened once before. This crime was actually planned over a year ago. Morgan Fey authored the plan for her daughter's future, and these instructions were hidden somewhere in the Fey Manor for a year. However, by the time Little Pearls found these instructions, they had already been unsealed.
Unsealed?
Yes. The killer had read these instructions long before Pearls ever found them. That's how he knew the crime was to take place at the Inner Temple.
And you still insist that this crafty killer is me? Well, you are very crafty, Godot.
You bet I do.
But you just said that the instructions were hidden.
Yeah, that's right. Mr. Godot couldn't have known where the instructions were hidden.
Maya, shut up. If you really wanted to know, he had one great chance to find out.
Yes, and when was that?
During a visit.
A visit?
Morgan Fay told her daughter, Pearl, about where the instructions were hidden. During one of her visits to the detention center. That would be the only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden.
Eavesdropping on a visit at a detention center.
Yes, it could be arranged if you were someone with easy access in and out of there. Like, for example, a prosecutor such as Mr. Godot.
Order, order, order! Mr. Godot, you're under fire again.
This murder could not have been carried out without prior knowledge. And you! You were the only one that could have acquired this information before the murder.
Humans are afraid of the dark, and yet, at the same time, we're fascinated and bewitched by it. Maybe that's why humans drink the darkness that is coffee.
Sorry for always asking, but what does that mean?
It means there's a reason for everything. According to your theory, the killer in this case eavesdropped on a conversation during a jail visit where he learned of a hidden plan for a crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in the Inner Temple and waited for the crime to occur.
Yes.
And then he ultimately took a person's life. And he did all of that just to protect this witness?
Yes. That's right.
If you're accusing me of this crime, I have to ask you, why would I do this? This girl is nothing but a stranger to me. I've got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her.
But you do.
Yep, I am what you see. I'm certainly not the type to rescue the damsel in distress. The killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for the lack of a better word. Even considering that the killer wanted to protect this witness's life, his behavior is still a little too unnatural.
However, you had a good reason, didn't you, Mr. Godot? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs.
I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick?
I don't know, have you figured it out?
Because he was, he was seeing Mia.
Armando was seeing Mia.
That's true, Amanda was seeing Mia, yeah.
And Godot and Armando, they have the theme song and similar looks. Totally different people.
They are very different people. True, that's nothing, that's simple. But who could it be? What could the reason be?
Maya, I guess you were doing your best to cover for Godot. For the same reason, huh?
Okay, Wright. I'm all ears. Let's hear it.
It's very simple. Maya Fey is a lot more than just a stranger to you.
What's this?
There's one person who lies at the very center of this whole story. One person that ties you and Maya Fey together inextricably.
Inextricably.
Yeah, that's the word.
So
Mia
yeah.
Fey.
Are we about to get a big reveal that none of us has seen coming?
There's a very good reason why Maya Fey's life is so precious to you. After all, she is Mia Fey's only sister.
Mia Fey.
You once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney.
Wait a second here. Mr. Godot is a defense attorney?
Was a defense attorney. With your Honor's piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. No he hasn't. The real name of this man who calls himself Godot, his real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right?
Oh! Wow! I did not see that coming.
None of us knew.
I did not see that coming. Oh my god!
Okay, there's someone out there who generally did not know this when they played through this the first time, did not figure it out with all the hints they gave, and they were surprised. But most people probably did figure it out.
Oh yeah. The last time someone called me by that name was over 6 years ago. Diego Armando. That name rings a bell.
It should, Your Honor. All of this is related to a single case. A case in which a convict named Terry Falls killed himself. Mia Fey's first time in court, the tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise. But in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando, a senior defense attorney at the office where Mia worked.
Oh,
It's my fault. It's not my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself.
Seriously, same earrings, same beard thingy, same style of hair. It's pretty obvious it's the same guy.
Now that you mention it. No, it couldn't be. Look at that sweltering gaze.
Ah, but here's the thing, we don't see the gaze of Godot.
That's true. Godot, take off the mask.
Mia,
He might.
you can't cry yet.
Damn.
So impressive.
The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. Oh, oh my God.
Nope, can't be seduced today.
no.
We don't have time to be seduced.
I want it back.
Okay. I was moved by her.
But seriously, look at this angle. It's literally the same. It's just he has a mask on.
Now that I finally see them side by side, I see what you mean. The way she put all her faith in her clients. That pure sweetheart of hers.
It's amazing how much hiding someone's eyes can make you just not realize who they are.
I know, right? That's why I could never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne.
And that's why Superman has such a great disguise.
Yeah, it's just a bunch
Just
of...
wears glasses.
Mia and I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident. And one fateful day, Dahlia wants to meet with me. It had been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria.
I just remembered. 6 years ago. Right here in this courthouse. You were poisoned.
Even I didn't see it coming. Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee.
Some new neighbors at the time called it a murder. Very little information about the case was released to the press.
But you weren't dead at all.
No official reports have actually called it a murder. I was just in a deep, deep coma.
I see.
My body shut down, and my life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. A woman's poison did a real number on my central nervous system. I lost my sight, and all of my hair turned white due to the damage it caused.
Damn. That's terrible.
Apparently it was a miracle that I ever regained consciousness. 5 years had passed since I drank that poison brew.
Oof. 5-year coma.
And one morning, my eyes flew open from the smell of a doctor's cup of coffee.
Wow.
Of course.
His body was needing caffeine that much. 5 years? You were asleep for 5 years?
And the worst possible news was waiting for me. Faye was dead. From the very moment I opened my eyes, I'd already lost everything that I thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered. The woman I loathed had been sentenced to death.
The woman you loathed?
The woman who had spiked my scalding hot coffee, Dahlia Hawthorne. Good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up.
That's so sad.
For someone like me, someone who had slept away their best days, there were only 2 reasons left to live. It was for those 2 reasons that I decided to become a prosecutor.
If I may ask, what were your 2 reasons to live? And was one of them make my life miserable?
The first was you, Wright.
Huh? Me? Kind of how I figured this, though.
If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, Mia Faye never would have died, much as the way she did.
I don't know about that one. But we never know.
You were the only one who was there to protect her.
Again, why do I have to be the one to protect her?
But you let her die. It was all your fault.
I literally wasn't there.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that.
I wanted to see for myself what kind of man you really were.
So that's why you became a prosecutor?
My other reason for living, she goes by the name of Maya Faye.
Huh? You mean me?
You were the only way I could make up for the sin, not saving Mia. A year ago, when the Korean village incident was resolved, it was obvious that the Morgan Faye was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as a prosecutor put me in the perfect position to do something about her.
That's how you overheard Pearl's visit with Morgan at the detention center.
I knew that the time was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My goal was to outwit the plan. I thought if I could do that, I could keep that girl from being caught up in it.
That makes sense. If Pearls had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya, she never would have helped out. Then why didn't you just steal the note?
Yeah, you could literally just have removed the note. So Pearl never found the note.
I mean, I suppose then she would have told her mother that there was nothing there.
True.
So I don't know, this is weird.
Finally, the day of the plan was drawing near. I contacted both of my accomplices.
Accomplices?
Iris of Hatsugura Temple and Misty Faye. Iris was in a yeah, I guess that makes sense. That actually makes sense when I think about it. I especially needed the help of Iris.
Yeah, Iris did say I can't tell you the truth until the safety of that acolyte is confirmed.
Yeah, because Iris is, what's it called, sworn or oathed, bound to protect the main branch family?
I don't even think it's that reason. I think it's just she doesn't want more people to die.
Yeah, that too.
Simple as that. She doesn't want her sister to kill more.
But I really think she was literally bound to protect Maya. She was in on that from the start.
I mean, she does hang out at the temple, so I'm sure she's grown up with that, but she's just a good person at heart and would want to stop a murder to begin with, so.
Yeah.
She's like the only good person in her family. Until Pearl was born.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, Dahlia was evil, her father was evil, her mother is evil, and then there's Iris and Pearl, who are the only good ones.
Yep. She was to take the fall in my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Faye. And she was completely fine with taking the fall too. So she was really in on, holy crap.
Yeah.
But how did you contact my mother?
She had been missing for almost 20 years. I thought that was a good opener for a moment. She'd been missing for almost 20 years. Officially, yes.
What? What do you mean, officially?
You've heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government?
Now that you mention it, Bikini did say something to that effect. She said that the Master of Karain had great authority.
Even without her official position, Mr. Faye still wielded great influence. The police have been keeping an eye on her movements all this time. That's how I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor.
So my mother was cooperating with you?
Don't ever forget, no matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking about you.
But when you met her in person, she was an asshole to you.
She probably just
But
wants
not
to
to
keep...
Pearl.
Yeah, that's true.
She was really nice to Pearl and just an ass to Maya. Like, oh, I don't need your help. Go run along with Phoenix. I don't want to spend time with my daughter.
I think I know why she was doing it. She was doing it to keep an eye on Pearl. I think that was the whole plan. And keep Pearl away from Maya.
From Maya, yeah.
Yeah. She was always... That's why. I knew she would do anything to protect you.
Most likely, assuming Pearl was stopped and no one died, then she may have actually came out and told Maya the truth.
Yeah.
And passed on the mastership to her something.
Very likely. If you want to know how strong her resolve to protect you was, look at her staff. Her staff? The one with the sword in it? The day the plan was to be carried out arrived soon enough. We met for the first time at Hasakura Temple. That's when your mother showed me her special staff. Realized it then, just how far she was willing to go.
I was wondering why she had a sword staff. I really was.
Yeah. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Mork and Faye, if necessary.
I was wondering why.
Yes, even if it meant paying the ultimate price.
Mother...
You were 2 when she disappeared.
That night, the night of the crime, there was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan.
You mean Pearl's, don't you?
We had to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Hawthorne.
Well, Pearl, what are you going to do tonight?
Oh, and now that you know she's Misty Faye, I never mentioned that. That's why I had you voice her. You were voicing basically all the Fays.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense now.
Well, if you'd like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together?
Aww. Before we could prevent her from playing her part in Morgan's plan. But she never showed up. Which is why she was out looking for her when we ran into her.
She was worried and followed me to the inner temple.
That was the thing we were most afraid of. And that's why Misty Faye had to do the channeling herself. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne into her own body. What? What do you mean?
If she channeled the spirit first, then Pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself.
As Master of Karain, Misty Faye's power was supreme. That's how it went down. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne so that Pearl Faye wouldn't be able to do it.
This is so weird.
What? Is this true? My role in the plan was to make sure no one was going to hurt Maya Faye. That's why I hid myself at Inner Temple, just in case you needed to be safe from Dahlia Hawthorne.
Godot.
Anyway, that's all I'm going to admit to. Right?
Huh?
There's no doubt about it. You're a great defense attorney, but you're going to have to do the rest yourself. Background leading up to this incident has been laid bare. There's just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim? There are only 2 possible suspects right now. Maya Faye. I'm sad to say, you, Mr. Godot.
How many coffees has he had?
That's a lot of coffee. Well, tried.
Probably up to like 20 something right now.
Damn.
Because I think in the last episode, 4-2, I think it was in like high 10s, basically, like 17, 18.
It's just so many.
If you're the real deal, Then finish this thing once and for all. Shows beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can finish this on your own.
No, Nick! Please stop it!
Maya!
I heard the whole thing from my sister in the medical office. That's why I have to protect Mr. Godot. I can't do it. I can't testify against him. After all, he's the man who put his life on the line to protect Mia. And me too.
Maya, I know that.
Nick.
But even so, it doesn't absolve him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify.
Miss Faye, your testimony, please.
This is the final testimony. Don't bother trying to hide anything, because I'll know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips.
I understand. I'm sure you're right. I'm ready now, Nick.
All right, young lady. Tell us about the moments before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder? Okay, here we go.
What's happening here?
Here we go.
Time of the murder.
Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights, 3 of them. I thought I'd ask for help, but just then I was splattered with blood. She wasn't dead, though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly, the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. Right after that, Dahlia collapsed and I lost consciousness.
These red lights. I thought you said you don't remember seeing them.
I'm sorry. I thought I saw them, then they disappeared all of a sudden.
Things break, right? Even the best of theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Faye? Looks like you still can't prove it.
Maya's telling the truth this time. I know it. The rest is up to me.
Well then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your final cross-examination of the witness.
So Godot got hit, I think, by the knife.
You think Godot is wounded?
Well, so we know with the knife, the blood is not Elise.
Yeah.
Maya's uninjured from what we can tell. Pearl is Pearl, so she's out of this. So Godot's really the only person it could be.
Yeah, so Godot might be
And
wounded,
remember,
actually.
she struck back at the enemy behind her, and then the red lights went out.
Right.
And the whole area was dark. So she struck his face, and it broke the goggles or something. I'm assuming. I just don't know exactly where I'd present that, so.
You might have to just press and get some more information. So let's go to the start from the top.
I think that is what happened, though. Light shining in the dark. I don't think you'd make a mistake about that.
Yeah, you're right. I think I saw them, but I can't say for certain. I can't tell you for sure they were from Mr. Godot's mask either.
I don't get the feeling she's covering for him anymore, but.
Press harder.
But just after that, you turned towards the lights and called for help. Isn't that because you thought those lights were coming from Mr. Godot's mask?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's what I was thinking at the time, but I can't remember. After all, it was a person I couldn't identify in front of me.
Maya's life was in terrible danger at the time. There's no way she can remember the details of the scene perfectly. True.
All right then, let's go on with it with the testimony. What do you do when you saw the red lights?
Asked for help, but splattered blood. That blood, was it Dahlia Hawthorne's blood? Technically, it was Elisa's.
I think so, probably. Just at that moment, I heard a soft scream that seemed to be close by. If it was a woman's voice.
So that was when the killer stabbed the victim from behind with the murder weapon. Isn't that right?
Without a doubt, Maya was in the middle of a really dangerous situation.
Anyway, the victim was stabbed by the murder weapon. What happened after that?
She wasn't dead though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her. Struck back? How do you know that?
Well, you're right. I didn't see it exactly, but I could tell by the sounds of their breathing and movement, and also the smell of blood.
You have witnessed more horror than any young lady should ever have to in one life. So then, what did you do at that point?
I couldn't move. I could just barely make out their shadows, moving in the dark, but I had no idea what to do.
Could you still see the red lights you mentioned earlier?
Yes, I think so, but...
The red lights went out and the whole area was dark. They went out.
Yes, suddenly I couldn't see them at all.
What could it mean?
If the red lights were coming from Godot's mask, and they went out right in the middle of a fight.
Maybe the mask was damaged.
Or maybe it was knocked off.
Or maybe the batteries ran out. Right. Or maybe those little red pinhead-looking lights just stopped working.
What could have really happened then? Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. What do you mean by just at that moment? Do you mean the moment when the red lights went out?
Yes, that's right.
The scream that you heard then, was it Dahlia Hawthorne?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was a man's voice.
Oh. What? So that scream came from the killer?
That's gotta be it.
I think Dahlia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it.
And then the killer let out a scream of pain, huh?
After that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow. I guess.
No, that doesn't make sense in this
No,
situation.
that doesn't make sense. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems to make sense to me.
No, it doesn't. Sounds like a reasonable deduction. I still kind of wonder.
Yeah, it's a
No,
contradiction.
there's definitely an issue. I'm sorry to say this, but that interpretation would create an enormous contradiction.
That makes sense. After all, my deductions are almost certainly never correct.
Then stop making them. Remember the testimony she just gave? Before the killer let out a scream, Maya said she had already been splattered by the victim's blood. In other words, the blade and the staff had already been plunged into the victim.
Ah! Is that right?
She couldn't have struck back with a sword that was already stuck in her body.
That's true.
I don't know. I watched Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood and that literally happened. He died shortly after that, but it did happen. It was a glorious scene. Ah, memories. The weapon that caused the killer to let out that scream must have been something other than the staff. The knife.
The traditional knife. If you're so sure about that, then don't keep us waiting any longer, Wright.
There's only one thing I can think of that could have been used as the weapon here.
If Dahlia Hawthorne had already been stabbed in the back by the staff, then what could she have used to strike back at the killer? The knife.
Naturally, the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
This dagger was found at the crime scene, stuck into a pine tree.
Yes, the detective found it this morning and brought it to me.
Dahlia Hawthorne struck back at the killer with this, and she managed to wound him as well.
Just because he let out a scream doesn't mean that he was wounded. For all we know, the blood on the dagger could have been from the victim. Except we found out it isn't.
Yeah, it's not. Have you forgotten that the blood had already been tested? Since we learned it wasn't the victim's blood, it must be the killer's blood. The killer must have a wound somewhere on his body.
I think it's
Probably
a-
his face.
Yeah, I think it's on the face. So you're saying that the blood in this dagger belongs to the killer?
Exactly. A DNA analysis of the blood would prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And yes, Mr. Godot, it would prove that it's your blood. You and your coffee.
Nice theory, tried. Too bad for you, 90% of my blood is coffee. Order in the court!
Is this the end? Have I done it? No. Even he won't be able to change the results of a scientific test.
With enough coffee, he can.
I mean, can he? This blood is 85% coffee. I wonder who that could be.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny, actually. Let me ask you something, Tried. Let's just say that it turned out that I was the killer. Do you really think I would be stupid enough to leave evidence like that?
What?
Just think for a second. This dagger was found this morning by a detective and brought to me. There was already blood on it, correct? But even so...
He couldn't see the blood.
Yeah, he cannot see the blood. I was the one who brought this dagger here to the courtroom. Yes, what does that prove? Well, if I already were the killer, I could have washed the blade off and then planted another person's blood on it.
That's... It can't be.
In any case, there's one thing I can guarantee, right? That blood, it doesn't belong to me. Not a chance.
What?
Damn. In any event, it seems to be established that the killer was wounded. Alright then, witness, continue your testimony.
Wait a minute.
What's the problem?
I know I probably shouldn't say this, but there's a big contradiction in Nick's explanation.
But Maya!
This dagger. You said it had wounded the killer.
That's right.
But if Mr. Go had really been caught with the dagger, his clothes would be bloody and have a rib in them, right?
Except was the face.
Maya, you can change clothes, you know.
Yeah, you
right?
can change clothes.
He just changed his clothes. That solved the contradiction pretty easily.
What are you talking about? It's not that simple at all. Remember back to the day of the murder. Everyone that was on the inner temple site got trapped there.
That's true. Oh, that's right. And once the bridge was fixed and the police headed for the inner temple, Mr. Godot was already there waiting for them.
So, to protect Maya, he wore his normal outfit. What the hell?
It's Godot.
He never had a chance to change his clothes.
Ah!
Order in the court.
Well, maybe he brought a change of clothes with him.
But no one could have predicted the lightning strike that shut down the bridge. Why would anyone have brought a change of clothes?
Ugh. Did the judge just take smart pills during the last recess?
Oh, no, I've been reading Occult.
Shut up. Well then, maybe the killer took off his clothes before you committed the murder. It was like 0 degrees out, dude. That way he wouldn't get any blood on them. Okay, you're just...
That's impossible, Wright. You know how cold it gets up there late at night. After a few minutes with no clothes on, you'd be frozen solid. Or at least be suffering from hypothermia.
Yeah, maybe it's under your mask.
So that's all you've got. No, you weren't tough enough to finish this. Right now, if Mia Fey were here, you would have closed the book on this case already.
I mean, that's true. Me if they were here.
Oh, come on, Wright. Can you do it or not? How about it, Mr. Wright? You've accused Mr. Godot of being the killer. Well, can you prove it? Have you got even one piece of evidence?
The question isn't whether I can prove it or not. The fact is I have to prove it. That's the only choice I have. I was taught that it's one of the rules of being a lawyer. I can prove it. I'm going to bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition, just as you want.
That's good. I fight until the bitter end, right? Since there's just one piece of evidence that can prove your point, why don't we go for the unlimited penalty?
Are you trying to pressure me, Mr. Godot? Because it doesn't matter to me. I've got the one piece of evidence I need.
Give me a break. You've got nothing, Wright.
So what do I do at a time like this? It's simple. I've got to think outside the box and approach this from a different angle.
Alright then, Mr. Wright, let's hear what you've got.
There's one thing I've demonstrated in the previous cross-examination. The killer was wounded. That was proven by the blood on the dagger.
But we decided it was impossible for him to have hidden such a wound. If he had been caught by a dagger, there should have been a bloodstain on his clothing.
There's one place the killer could have hidden his wound.
What did you say?
Hidden?
Come on, Wright.
This is it. My last stand. I need to think about this from a different angle.
Come on,
I don't need to
Wright.
think about why there was no bloodstains on his clothing. I need to show how he hid the wound.
It's the end of the line. The final stop, Wright. Let's hear what you've got.
Oh, hit me with your best shot!
Where's this location where you say the killer hid his wound?
Okay, so there's no proof in these.
No, it is not.
Are we just going to present him?
It's his. I think it's his face.
Sure.
I don't know what you're talking about, and frankly, I don't need to know. What do I know is that you'll never be half the lawyer she was. Isn't that right, Wright?
Oh no, the ghost of Mia.
What was that just now? Mia? It can't be. You're living on. Through him?
Even as we speak, you're still hiding the wound. It's beneath your mask! During the fight, the red lights given off by the killer suddenly disappeared. Seconds later, the killer let out a scream. That's right, your mask went flying off your face. Mr. Godot, would you mind removing your mask? If you have a dagger wound under there somewhere, then I'd say this whole case is solved. Huh? Why did it explode?
I have no idea. Just now, I saw her spirit in you. I never liked you. 6 years ago. You helped the woman who put me to sleep by hiding her bottle of poison. And then,
You ate the glass.
while I was sleeping, you let Mia die. But you didn't care. You just kept living your pathetic, happy-go-lucky life. You even had the nerve to follow in her footsteps as a lawyer.
I mean, she was training me.
I could never forgive you. That's what I thought.
Mr. Godot?
But I was wrong about you. I knew it from the very beginning. The truth is, the only person I could never find in my heart to forgive was me.
You yourself?
I was the one that failed to protect Mia. Yeah, no one else. I tried to avert my eyes from the truth, to escape from the harshness of reality. I just couldn't face Mia's death head on, so I ran, hid behind a mask. I threw away my true name. Couldn't even deal with being a defense attorney anymore. So I quit.
But you saved Maya.
Yeah, that was my plan. Up until just now, anyway.
What do you mean?
Are you listening, Maya? If I had really wanted to save you, then there's one person that I should have gone and talked to right away.
Who would that be? You're talking about Nick?
But I didn't do it. I tried to get the help of Iris and her mother and your mother. But I closed my eyes to the most important man involved. You know why? The real reason?
No. Why?
I suppose I wasn't really interested in saving you at all.
Huh?
I think I was just trying to salvage what's left of my own broken soul. I was trying to make up for the fact that I couldn't save Mia, nothing more. That's why I let you walk right into that situation that I knew was dangerous. Forgive me.
You're wrong. You put your life on the line to save Maya.
Was it really for Maya's sake? Even I'm not really sure.
What do you mean by that?
That night, in the darkness of the garden, when I saw her silhouette.
Okay, he looks cool there.
Oh yeah. Part of me must have known the truth. The truth that it wasn't really Dahlia Hawthorne standing there in front of me. It could have been Misty Faye. Even that little girl. But I still picked up the blade. It's like I was dreaming.
That is a good point. He may have killed Pearl.
Yeah. But he did it anyway. I'm not sure exactly what was going on in my mind at that point. Was I really motivated by the pure desire to protect my FA? Or was it something else? Was it my hatred for a woman who had stolen everything from me 6 years earlier? Could it have been simply a desire for revenge? No, I don't know anything anymore. I did learn something today, however. I finally realized that I was the arrogant one. I was just chasing an illusion. A fantasy. A stupid fantasy of defeating you in the courtroom. You were the one who made me realize my folly. And you never ran away from Mia's death. Instead, you picked up where she left off. As a true defender of the people. In that one moment, I understood everything.
Mr. Godot.
I think you already know this. But if you don't, my name is Diego Armando.
Mr. Armando, I believe in you. I know you were trying to save me.
Thanks.
Your wound. It's bleeding.
Did you forget already? In my world, the cholera doesn't exist.
So I don't wear a tie then. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Godot?
These must be my tears.
Tears?
Ever since I woke up from my coma, I think I've been waiting for this very moment.
Mr. Armando.
You do well to remember this, Maya. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over.
This time, it really is all over, isn't it? Defendants?
Yes, Your Honor.
Although you weren't directly involved in the murder, tampering with the body at the crime scene is a serious offense in itself.
I understand, Your Honor. Mr. Armando explained that to me very carefully. I knew the risk and I willingly cooperated anyway.
Very well, before I hand down my verdicts, is there anything you'd like to say?
Well, there is one thing. I'd like to say something to Mr. Wright. I want to apologize to you. Apologize? To me? For what? For the case 5 years ago. Of course.
But what did you have to do with that?
I just remembered. Weren't you poisoned by your own lover?
No, they attempted to poison me. Not exactly, but yeah, something like that. I ate glass. Even now, 5 years later, I can hardly believe it. She was going to do it. She was planning to kill me. It's not all that surprising. The two of you hardly knew each other. Huh? What do you mean? You and my sister. You only met twice.
What?
What?
What? Wait. So all the lovey stuffy times was actually with Iris?
We only met twice? The first time you met was on that fateful day. The day she poisoned Mr. Armando in the cafeteria of this very courthouse. The next time you met her was 8 months later. You met her again on the day she stole your cold medicine. and Doug Swallow was killed. No way. It can't be true. I mean, during the whole relationship, we were... For those 8 months, the woman that you thought was Dahlia Hawthorne wasn't actually my sister. Huh? It wasn't Dahlia? I hope one day you can forgive me. Feeny.
Oh my god!
You mean... That's right. I lied to you. For 8 months.
What?
Why? Why would you do such a thing?
Ever since she gave you that bottle that day, my sister was trying to get it back as soon as she possibly could. Because of the police investigation, their surveillance. She couldn't move about freely. So that's why you... My sister... From the beginning, she was prepared for the worst. Prepared for the worst? She thought you might somehow discover the truth. That's why she was always ready to deal with you at a moment's notice. You mean she was ready to kill me, don't you? She already had so much to answer for. I didn't want more sins on her soul. I begged her not to do it, and she agreed to give me a chance. And that's why you came to me. You came to get the bottle pendant back from me in her place. But I couldn't get you to give it back. I failed at something even as simple as that. 8 months passed and I still couldn't get it back from you. Finally, my sister couldn't wait any longer. She didn't consult me about her plans for you that day. It was the first time that had ever happened.
Oh my god.
That was a bit strange, wasn't it? Up until that day, you two were partners in crime and she would confer with you. I think she must have noticed. Noticed what? My feelings for you.
Oh my god.
If I had found out she was planning to kill you, I would have done whatever was necessary to stop her.
Oh my god.
Even if it meant her life. Or mine.
So...
Iris.
So Phoenix, you do actually know her. You were dating her for 8 months.
And you thought you were dating her sister. God, that would fuck with someone.
Oh yeah, it would.
After spending those 8 months by your side, my feelings towards you, they changed. I have something to say to you too. Yes?
I love you.
No. Maybe. I don't know. You really are the person I always thought you were. Even after Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, I still believed in you. Thank you.
Aww. How many cups of darkness have I drank over the years? Even I don't know.
All of them.
I'll tell you then. Right now, this one here is the greatest cup I think I've ever had. Don't you think so? Phoenix Wright?
Oh no, I'm addicted. Yeah, I think you're right.
The purpose of this trial was to rule on the murder of the victim Elise Dixon. At this point, I expect you will be tried for your role as an accomplice in this act.
I understand, Your Honor.
Very well. On the charge of murder, I hereby find the defendant not guilty.
Yay!
But you are guilty of being an accomplice, which will now be settled by my brother when he's ready. Court is now adjourned.
Hopefully he loses his cold by then.
February 10, 4:51 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1.
This thing is long.
Yep.
So I guess it's all over. The way everything ended. Was justice really served? The man who risked his life to save Maya is being sent to prison by my own hand.
Of course justice was served.
Mia!
I'm proud of you, Phoenix. Your defense was truly brilliant.
But I couldn't save Mr. Armando. The man who cared so deeply for you.
You're wrong, Phoenix. You did save Diego. You saved him in the only way possible.
You mean, with that verdict?
I think one day, you'll understand too. Yeah, he's no longer Godot, he's Diego again, basically. You saved his conscience. What's the word? Conscious?
Conscience?
Yeah. Phoenix, I want you to remember one thing. You were as good out there as today as any defense attorney could ever hope to be. There's nothing more that you can learn from me.
But Mia! Does that mean there's no more Deus Ex Mias?
You've accomplished something I wasn't able to. I owe you a great deal. Thank you.
Mia.
I'm sure we'll meet again. Someday. Phoenix?
I've handled lots of cases and seen a lot of things. I met Southern people. They were the scary ones. And along this journey, I found myself asking just one question.
I hate
Why were our early videos so terrible quality?
Yep, and also, why is it so hard to talk with old people?
Old people are scary.
Especially old people in security uniforms.
Please no. I don't want to deal with her again.
But you know, we are headed for it.
What does it really mean to defend someone? I suppose today's case produced one possible answer.
Nick.
But Maya!
I guess it's just like my sis said.
Mia? What did she say?
At night, when I channeled Mia to get her advice on what to do. This is what she wrote back in my notebook. Don't worry. Phoenix will save everyone in the end.
But...
Come on! Cut it out with that gloomy face! Can you see? Me, sis, and I'm sure Iris too. We owe you for everything you've done for us, Nick.
Maya, how? How can you be so bright and chipper after all that's happened? You were brutally attacked. Again. Even saw your own mother murdered. Ouch!
Oh, that was actually
That was... Francisca!
Still as softly as always. Phoenix, right?
excellent work, Wright.
Huh? Mr. Edgeworth? When did you get back?
Oh, that's right. I guess no one filled her in on that. Edgeworth and Francisca have actually been helping me.
Helping you?
If these two hadn't been here on the first day of the trial,
That was a fun one.
the defense wouldn't have had gotten anywhere. I mean, the prosecution wouldn't have gotten anywhere either. Nothing would have happened.
Wow. But where were you, Nick?
Well, you see, I ran across a burning bridge, fell 40 feet, hit a river that moves extremely fast, and all I got out of that was a cold.
Wow, Nick.
And then I got over that the next day by giving it to some weird Canadian guy.
Wow, Nick. Are you sure you're not related to the Steel Samurai?
I might be. Maybe I'm related to Will Powers. He seems like somebody who's just, like, untouchable.
I heard he fell into a river and caught a nasty cold which forced him to sleep all day.
How? Falling into a river at that speed and everything. How does that only get you a cold?
Yes, he laid in bed shivering from his fever with Iris' hood pulled over his head.
Oh, ouch. Talk about embarrassing, Nick. You definitely need more training. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. And you too. Francisca?
Maybe Gumshoe?
I don't suppose.
Oh, it's Larry.
Oh, okay, Larry, okay. There's room for me in this group hug, is there?
We have a hug?
Oh, Larry.
What's with the, longer than usual face?
I realized something when I was reborn. I realized that Larry was never made use to anyone, not even once.
That's not true. Right, Nick?
What? You're asking me? He's useless.
Well, look, is it true? I've got a place in this world, right?
Huh? Oh, yeah, of course.
I knew it. What would be better off if I were gone for good?
Oh, just go paint. No. Oh yeah, those portraits you painted, they were really good. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? So yes.
What? Me?
They were good. They really were.
Yeah, compared to what I can do. Why are you making that face, huh, Angie? Oh, well, yes, indeed. I certainly can't say that they lack resemblance. Do you really mean it? What about you, Francie? Did I draw you well, too?
Oh, can we please see her picture?
I want to see... Ah!
My beauty can't possibly be captured by a mere crayon.
I agree. You should paint her with actual paint.
Nevertheless, I recognize the effort you put into it, and that's worth something.
Then you'll do it like you promised? You're going to model for my next picture book? Francie's with me.
Don't get carried away.
Oh, please, model for it, Francie. I would buy that in a heartbeat.
Well, how about that? I guess painting portraits is the only thing I'm good at. And the painting of Pearl was pretty darn good too, if you ask me. Huh? Now that you mention it, I haven't seen her around.
Pearls. Where could she have gone? Normally she would have been a beeline from Maya.
Oh, I'll go look for her. Be right back. Hey, Pearly!
Right? You seem to be uncharacteristically puzzled. I suspect you're wondering how Maya can be so cheerful despite all that has happened.
Yes. Yeah.
To be honest, I can't understand it either.
Francisca. That's right. She lost her father fairly recently as well. I don't know how much she actually cared about him.
I think I understood how she feels. Understand her. Maya is a much nicer person than she appears. I think she realizes something. It's exactly the time when she needs to be as strong as she can.
What do you mean by now is exactly the time?
Well, I'm sure Pearl knows the truth about her mother.
Yep.
And probably ran to stay away from Maya.
Yep. Maya wasn't the only one that was badly wounded by this incident. In fact, there was someone that was hurt far more deeply than she. I think it's for that person that Maya is trying her best not to cry.
Someone who was hurt more deeply than Maya. Edgeworth. I think I'm starting to understand too. Ow!
Then tell me, Phoenix Wright, who is Maya Fey being strong for?
Maya. Pearls, I mean.
Pearl?
Pearl.
Take that, Francesca.
Pearl Fay.
The poor kid. After all, the reason that she worked so hard to follow the instructions was because she loved and believed in her mother, Morgan. It's for the good of the Fay clan. I'm sure she believed in every last word. She thought she was doing it for Maya. That's why she was so happy. It shows how truly devoted she is to Maya. It makes you wonder, why was Pearl allowed to hang out with Maya so much?
Yeah, that's
To get such a close relationship, even though Morgan hated Maya.
that actually could be the reason why she was allowed to, yeah.
But it's a cruel irony that it was her exuberance that led to this tragedy. Maya Fay's mother was killed, and Maya herself was put into the deepest peril imaginable.
And that's exactly why Maya's putting on a brave face. She's doing it for Pearl's sake, till she can see her smile again. Oh, hey, Gumshoe.
Oh, hey! So this is where you all were. Wow, looks like we got quite a bunch here too. Ouch! What was that for, sir?
Sorry about that, Scruffy. My wit just seems to have a mind of its own.
What's up, Detective Gumshoe?
Oh, you know, it isn't that. Anyway, congrats on your win. Let's go out tonight, pal. Dinner's on me. I got
You can afford that?
I got a coupon here. Oh wait, my service just sort of kind of got down by 20 weeny bit, but it's all right. I made reservations at a first-class French restaurant tonight.
Pretty good work, Scruffy. That whip was your reward.
Detective Gumshoe? You said a first-class French restaurant. You don't mean...
Oh no, très bien. Where else? Oh no.
I knew it. We're doomed.
Come on, let's go, everyone. Can't keep Maggie waiting, pal.
Wait a second. Who owns the restaurant?
Is Armstrong? Oh my god, do you think Armstrong still
He should have
owns-
been arrested.
Huh.
He was an accomplice. He helped cover a murder.
Huh.
How did he get away with this?
I think I know why.
And why did Maggie go working there?
I get a feeling, there's a few strings pulled.
Why? He's nothing important.
I don't know.
Hey, you crybaby, you invited too.
Oh, forget about me. Pearl and I will be at the Luce's shack eating potatoes.
You know, Maya's taking an awfully long time to get back. She's still out looking for pearls.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, Maya, what's wrong?
Nick, what do I do? Pearly. I can't find her anywhere.
Huh?
I'll bet she just went back home. That's all.
I thought so too, so I called the village. No one has heard from her. This has never happened before.
Is she hiding behind that couch?
As I figured. She's been badly hurt by this incident. She feels responsible for the tragedy that has befallen you, Maya.
But none of this was her fault. What should I do?
Detective Gumshoe,
Yeah? What is it, pal?
could you guys go on ahead?
But what about you?
Maya and I we'll join you guys once we find pearls.
Nick,
Don't worry about us, Detective Gumshoe. We may be a little late, but we'll definitely be there. We have a lot of celebrating to do tonight, and I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yeah, you're the... Ah!
very well, Philistines. We'll go on ahead.
I pity all of you.
Don't keep us waiting.
We won't.
But where should we look? Where could Pearly have gone?
Let's go, Maya. There's only one place I can think of that pearls might have gone to.
The detention center?
No,
Oh, back to
this
the
is not
temple.
where I actually thought it would be.
Back to the temple?
I thought she was going back to the office.
Oh boy.
Asakura Temple?
For pearls, I bet this is a very important place. After all, it's where this whole incident started. What's this? You're all back again so soon!
Sister Bikini?
I thought we'd be eating mashed potatoes alone tonight.
So she's here? Pearly's here?
She's in the training hall. Why don't you hurry along and go see her?
Okay. Pearly's not here.
Ah, Maya, the hanging scroll.
Ah,
How does it not have any stains on it?
someone cleaned it off.
It's got to be pearls.
Mystic Maya! Pearly! Why? Why did you just leave like that? Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! I swore that I would never trouble the two of you ever again. Because it's all my fault that Mystic Maya's mother!
That's why you came here?
It's the least I could do. To pray for your happiness.
You're not getting married.
You don't have to do that, Pearly. It wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Of course I'm sad that my mother is gone.
You didn't know your mother.
But how do I say this? I'm still happy.
Seriously, there's not much of a relationship to miss.
Yeah.
You don't have to lie to just make me feel better. No, really. It's true. The only reason I'm still here at all is thanks to everyone who was there for me. My sis, my mother, Mr. Armando, Nick, and you. If even one of you went there, I'm sure I wouldn't be alive right now. That's why I have to be strong. All the people that were here for me when I needed them. That's all I can really do. Mystic Maya.
I'm impressed. You truly are the daughter of Mystic Misty.
Sister Bikini.
Your mother, Mystic Misty, was a strong woman indeed. I want to tell you what she said to me that night.
After dishonoring the good name of Coraine, I don't have the right to face my daughter. But still, Maya's always in my thoughts.
Mia was, but now she's dead.
It's true. She'll always be with me. Until the day I die.
Which is that night.
Yep.
Your spirit was with her. That's why your mother was so strong. Even at the end. I'm sure she had no regrets. She'll always be with me until the day I die, huh? There's a rule or something all masters ought to follow, isn't there? To never take the charm off until the day you die.
But that's the master's talisman.
The thing that Misty kept by her heart and would never take off. It wasn't the container that was important. Rather, it was the contents. That's... a photo?
A photo?
Oh man, is it a childhood photo?
It's only natural for living creatures to fight to protect their own lives. But what makes us humans is that we fight for others. But who do you fight for? How hard must you fight? That's the true measure of what human life is worth. We defense attorneys are warriors who are constantly challenged by that question. Oh my god.
Aww.
Oh my god, they broke it!
Because the base has already been broken before.
I love it!
Oh my god.
So Misty just showed up, took a picture, and was like, oh, Mia's just surprised, like, oh, what are you doing?
Oh my god,
I love it. Pearl's not the one who broke it originally.
Childhood Mia looks cute.
They both do.
Yeah.
They look adorable. Even when the battle's over, and the bonds that connect us are severed, we always return. Time and time again. Mia, Maya, Pearls, Mr. Armando, and Maya's mother too. I learned that from all of them.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
Well, shall we get going? Everyone is waiting. And Pearls, you don't have to feel bad about breaking that anymore. It's already broken multiple times, apparently.
Yeah.
This is a day to remember. A day when a lot of things were finally put to rest. I think we should celebrate what we've overcome today.
But I still can't.
Oh, go on, sweetie. You can come back for training anytime.
Okay. Alright. I'm going to make a brand new start too. Sister Bikini, I'll be back for more training. I promise.
I know, and I won't go easy on you just because you're the future master. And this time, you won't be attempted to be killed. Maybe. I'll make sure to prepare reservations for 3 for when you come back.
Alright. We're going to have a great feast today, Pearly.
Why am I invited?
You know why? Because training is a battle of endurance. Okay, Mystic Maya. I'll eat lots and lots of food tonight. You should not eat lots and lots of food for that place.
You know, there's one thing I don't get, and probably don't want to, but...
What is it, Nick?
Reservations for training is fine and all, but why for 3?
Come on, what do you think? You're one of us, Nick. Next time you can train right alongside us. One of us!
No!
One of us! One of us!
No, I don't wanna. I'll be waiting for you. Sister Bikini will take special care of you. Huh?
It'll be great, Nick. We're going to do the special course naturally.
What? No!
That's a great idea after all, Mr. Nick. You'd do anything for Mystic Maya, wouldn't you? Even walk on hot coals, right? We'll have a nice big meal before we come next time, right, Nick?
You know, I was wondering if I can say just one little thing.
Sure, of course you can. Oh, I love this part. I can't wait to hear it. Oh, she thinks you're going to propose.
I'm getting goosebumps too! Well then, here goes nothing. Objection!
That's good.
And that's the Ace Attorney series. At least
Yeah.
the first one.
I'll have to work extra hard now. Master Coraine at the office manager of Wright & Cole offices. I have to be a good big sister for Pearly and Nick too. Well, as long as I'm not locked up or captured or something like that.
Don't tell me in Apollo she gets locked up or captured or something.
Probably.
That's true. Mr. Nick really is Mystic Maya's knight in the shining armor. He went through with the special course all the way to the end. Wow. Actually, I heard there's a legendary extra special ultra course here too. I think I'll surprise the two of them by making them a secret reservation.
How can you do
Oh, no.
this? You're
Oh, no.
9! Oh, he changed his code again.
Mackie bought me a brand new coat as a present, pal. I feel 10 years younger. I'll never take it off.
Yes, but somehow you don't seem the same. I guess a dirty, shabby old overcoat is just more detective-like, sir.
Don't worry about it. In the name of love, a man will soil himself silly.
Y'all got issues.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh, what was her voice? Mr. Wright! I don't even remember her voice. I'll do it in post. I'll do it then. This is going too quick, too, so...
yeah, that's why I really tried to stay on point, but they should.
Oh, Francesca taught you how to use a whip?
Wait, what? What?
Oh, no. I'll see if I remember doing it in post. I don't remember these voices. That scene I started a company called Master Automask Consulting.
We're dedicated to stopping the evil plans of all the criminals in the city.
Oh, I was cut it out, please!
Pretty cute, huh?
Oh, we also sold planes of criminals as kind of a side business. I wonder if that's okay. Sometimes I think maybe we're the worst criminals. Oh, Ron. You're the best. Wait, is Lotta Hawk going to appear? Please tell me
probably.
she appears at some point. I doubt she will. Oh, this was my creepy voice. I want to show my appreciation, Mr. Wright, for exterminating Don Tigre. Wait, don't lend me money. I could take the tea set, though. Oh god, I'm scared of her tea. Went through compromise. Ugh.
Oh my god, we gotta see Armstrong.
Please no. I'm not dealing with this old man. You took him over for a while.
At least that's what I thought. But my grandkids had a birthday party for me the other day. Talk about embarrassing 96 years old, nice. And I cried like a baby with a dirty viper.
Nice. 69.
How do you remember the voices you did for these people? Because I can't. I know she was a robot, but I can't remember it beyond that.
Yeah.
Adamada? Oh my god. More nerds.
Are we literally going through all of them? Is it Armstrong now? Oh god. No, it's Bikini. Okay.
My, more reporter. Since the murder, we've made so much money. I hardly know what to do. I'm rich. I think the magazines like us because I provide such a nice visual, especially in spring. I can hardly wait for Iris to come back. Can't forget her voice. Not
Yeah.
for now. Maybe in the future I'll forget. I don't think we're getting Armstrong back because we already went to Tribune.
Yeah. Oh, Iris.
You've turned into such a respectable man, Beanie. It was so sweet of you and everyone else to come and visit me here the other day. Of course, I was happy that you constantly had your eyes on me, but I got it bad when the little one slapped you so much on the nose. Can't take that, sir. Oh my god, Pearl. Oh, we're just hearing everyone's objections.
Yeah, because
And who
those
voiced them.
actually voice acted, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, Mia had one too.
Christina Catano.
Oh yeah,
I love the
yeah,
hair
the
thing.
flick. Yeah.
They knew we wanted that.
Ah, Armando.
James C. Wilson.
Damn.
He has a good voice. I could never replicate his thing.
Ah, Francesca. Oh my god!
Chryslip, that fits.
No! No! Protect me, cat! No! I'm not dealing with this. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I couldn't keep up with her voicing anyways. I'm not dealing with her right now. That's in the next Redux.
Yeah,
Not this one.
That's gonna be fun.
No, it's not.
I finally found something that I love to do. Ranch's Liberty Whip Trip is gonna turn out oddworld on its head. I should have realized it sooner. Self-centered, lazy, antisocial. I'm an artist. A really good portrait artist. I'm not a loser after all.
You are a loser.
Yep. Aww. Oh, he's actually good at drawing. Like, seriously. I don't get why people say he's bad at drawing, because that's actually really good.
Assuming this is him, which
That's
I'm
true.
assuming it is.
How would he know how... Oh, he probably remember... No, he wouldn't know Mia, would he?
He would. She was next to Phoenix when he was defending her in the first case.
That is true. Thanks for the nice experience, Capcom.
A lawyer only cries once it's all over. Achievement complete everything in the game. Well, all the cases.
And that's us. We're done with the trilogy.
Yeah. Next up is Apollo. Who knows when? Months from now.
Yep.
By the way, our recording is mid-March.
Yep.
So whenever this is actually released, months from now.
Oh, yeah.
Probably around summer, I would think, is when we'll start Apollo, depending on things. Summer or fallish, I would think.
We will have to see.
Whenever next time.
Yeah, have a good one.